going to start our preview with Liverpool because a point against Spurs at Anfield on Sunday will secure their second Premier League title. This week, we sat down with their manager, Arne Slot.
I'm going to ask you a final question, which is about the biggest trophy in England. What would it mean to guide them back to the very top of English football?
So I think this is where all of the managers are aiming for. So it's you want to improve the team, you want to improve the individuals, but end result of that should always be winning trophies. And the biggest trophy is the Premier League. And I'm fortunate enough to work at a club where it's a possibility to win it.
It was a very special moment when Liverpool won the league 3, 4 or 5 years ago. The last time they've won it. Unfortunately for every Liverpool fan, it was COVID time, but still, they were very happy. So yeah, it must be very, very special for them because I think it's special for every fan base, but it's even more special for the ones that don't win it every single season. So I think if you are working at a club that has won it for 4 seasons in a row, or 3 or 2 or 5 or 100, it's not as special as it is for a club that has won it in the last 35 years only once. That of course makes it more special. There were special moments.
Trent Alexander-Arnold!
Trent doing this 10 minutes before the end against Leicester.
It had to be him really, didn't it? Today of all days!
Special when Virgil, just before the end, had it a goal in against West Ham.
Their captain delivers just when they needed it most.
I think big players always show up in big moments, and that's what they did. When Virgil scored the goal, the emotions that ran through him, through the stadium, through the staff, through everyone. That was a beautiful moment, but I hope the most beautiful one is still to come. It's special to reach 20, it's always special to reach 10, 20, 30. We are only judging ourselves on the standards of Liverpool and not by the standards of any other club. If we are able to win it, then this for me has nothing to do with the amount of times United won the league, or City won the league, or Arsenal won the league. We are only judging ourselves by our own standards, and for us, because we've only won it once in the past 45 years, it will be really special. I won one league title at my former club Feyenoord, which was also a club where it's not common that they win the league. It's the biggest competition in the world. If we achieve that, that would of course be special for me, for the fans, for the players, but definitely also for me. Yeah.
Yeah, Arne Slot. I remember in the intro there, the first question was me. I remember meeting him and thinking, oh, Guy, what a job you have on your hands replacing Jurgen Klopp. It's going to be difficult. There'll be a period of adjustment. I certainly couldn't have predicted that he would be on the cusp of a Premier League title in his first season. Do you think many people would have? And just how big is this?
I don't know. I mean, we saw all the predictions from the start, before the start of the season, including ours, where they were not winning the title. So, no, but it's true. I remember seeing them in pre-season when they were in the US and being really impressed with what I saw already. And I think they've been outstanding, by far the best team in the country. Mo Salah has been by far the best player too, walking on water. Van Dijk, that Slot mentioned, Gravenberch, McAllister in midfield, all of that. It's an outstanding team, really. Maybe not so much in the last few weeks, but overall. But I think maybe the best thing for him is that there was no recruitment in the summer, apart from Chiesa, who didn't play much of a role. But I think it was much easier for Slot to arrive with an already established squad that had been together for a while, with leaders that were very, very obvious to see in every line, pretty much. And Slot arriving, tweaking a few things, but also knowing that this was a healthy, very talented squad that he just had to manage well to go and win this title. So, of course, they didn't expect City not to be great, and United and Spurs and even Arsenal to some extent. But he just looked at that team thinking, you know what, I know we can go really well this season.
Yeah, Jules, you make a really good point there, because I think, I think people sometimes think managing is an easy job because you inherit a top side, and I think that's fair play to Jurgen Klopp, the recruitment of the players that he left behind. But I think people are discrediting Liverpool a little bit because they expected Arsenal to be challenging, they expected Manchester City to be challenging a little bit more. And obviously when Liverpool won the league previously, it was during the season where fans couldn't be in attendance and everyone kept saying, oh, you know, it's because people wasn't there. No, give Liverpool the credit. As much as it pains me from a Manchester United perspective to say that, you've got to give credit where it's due. Mo Salah is on a different level. I know in recent weeks people were saying, oh, you know, it's because he's thinking about his contract. Now he's been given that contract. Virgil van Dijk, the contract as well. Trent, you know, still up in the air. I think it's inevitable what will happen there. But I think you just got to give credit to Arne Slot and Liverpool because they've done an amazing job.
Yeah, the one who hasn't obviously wrapped up the contract and extension was Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I think we were all trying to read into his celebrations. We saw them there in that VT, you know, the hanging of the shirts over the corner flag, the, you know, touching the badge afterwards. A big goal, an important victory for them. But, you know, what do we think about... It's impressive to me that, again, we've said it throughout, that they've done it in a season where 3 of their key players have not really been certain, and now 2 of those have been wrapped up.
No, I think you need to give credit to Arne Slot for never really letting this kind of contractual situation disturbing the team. You don't need to read anything in this. He's going at the end of the season. We all know that. I think this celebration is maybe the frustration of some of the criticism that he received in the last few weeks, including from his own fans. This is his club, let's not forget. This is his hometown. And I think he wants another chapter in his career. He's allowed to have that. But this goal meant a lot because it's almost the goal of the title, really. And I think he can have that forever and that celebration too. But they will have to replace him one way or another with Bradley, with a new signing. And it's a massive loss for them, on the ball especially.
Do you know what I'm most excited for is the Liverpool fans? Because, as you mentioned, in that COVID season, they weren't able to be there. That was the first time they won the Premier League title in the Premier League era. So they've been waiting so long.
30 years.
And now there is that opportunity, and they could do it at Anfield. I know there was a chance in midweek if Arsenal had lost to Palace, but there's very few Liverpool fans, I feel, who wouldn't want it done at Anfield. In their own home ground, on their own backyard, just with the celebrations that are going to come. We're all football fans, you know, at the heart of it. And I'm actually quite excited for them to get to experience that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm excited for the Liverpool fans coming from Man United perspective, but I get where you're coming from, you know, and everybody deserves, you know, when the team wins the league, it's an amazing honour to be able to do that. And the fans, you know, I think it's inevitable that Liverpool are obviously going to win. I think we've known that for a number of weeks now. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So I think it does have a little bit more to it when you are in the stadium, when you win with your home fans, because if you're away, you're still winning the title. But we've seen it happen before where they're doing, like, I know the trophy presentation won't come at the weekend, but like we've seen teams win it and having to get the trophy at an away ground. You know, you've got the away fans there, but it's not the same, is it? So, like I said, credit where it's due to Liverpool. They've been the best team in the league and they've been consistent and, you know, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, absolutely. Just your thoughts on the fans and what we're going to see.
I mean, this is why we are football fans, right? Is to say I was there in Istanbul when they won the Champions League. I was there at, I don't know, at Tottenham when Arsenal won the league that season. All of that. And I think they could not say we were there when Klopp and this wonderful team that he created at the time won the league after 30 years of waiting and chasing it. So this time, the people within the stadium will be able to say to their children, to their grandchildren, I was there that day when Arne Slot won the title.
Yeah, and then we're just looking at their season overall. They've already matched the win tally from last season and 82 points last season that they had. They could equal that, you know, with 4 games to go. Just where are they? We know that they've kind of dropped off a little, but that's also understandable. You know,
it happened.
The title's been kind of secured a while ago. We've known, a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, but I think a lot of their individual players have been exceptional. I mean, Mo Salah, every single season. I know there was a moment where people were talking about him having a bit of a blip in form, but, like, I love Mo Salah. Like, when we talk about being football fans and what he does, I mean, he's just on a different level. And I think what I like about him is he always comes alive. He doesn't always look busy, and I think the best players do that. You know, you have major moments in games and the types of goals he can score. And to be fair, like, they create a lot of chances at Liverpool. They've got fantastic delivery, you know, with Andy Robertson. I don't think it's been Andy Robertson's best season, but he's still been, you know, reliable at times. But Mo Salah, I mean, I could talk about him all day long. He's been for me, one of the greatest ever players in the Premier League. And I've said it on this show loads of times, give the man what he wants.
Yeah.
You know, I know people talk about age, but he keeps himself in fantastic condition. You know, he can still score goals for fun. And I think trying to find another player, yes, maybe longevity-wise, you might find someone, but, like, that can guarantee you goals like he does next season. I just don't think Liverpool will find another Mo Salah for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. Been breaking records nearly weekly this season. It's completely been just a marvel to watch in a season where his future has been uncertain, or he's done some things that we're not used to seeing, like giving a comment after a game, perhaps, and sending the press into a frenzy. But he's always maintained that professionalism, and he has been stunning to watch this season. And we will get to see him for 2 more years in a Liverpool shirt. Let's talk about the team that were in the running for the title with Liverpool, as we mentioned. City having the season that we know that they've had. What about Arsenal? Where do you think the title was lost for them?
I mean, there's key moments in the season where they drop points they shouldn't have dropped, to be fair. And we can see some of them now. This red card from Declan Rice against Brighton, where they're very much in control of the game at the Emirates. They 1-0 up. Like, this is a bit cheeky, you can see it that way, but you should not do that. That's a yellow card, it's a second yellow. And there's the Trossard red card at City. There's the game they lost at home at the Emirates against West Ham. There's this defeat away at Newcastle, where for the second season in a row they lose there 1-0. And those moments, I still think that if you look at the stats, it's not a great season from an Arsenal point of view domestically. Champions League is a bit different, but it's not great, it's not too bad either. But they've lost a lot of points from winning positions.
The West Ham game you're mentioning,
Yeah, the West Ham games where Luis Kelly gets sent off. There's bad defending on the Jared Bowen goal too. And overall, it's those games where you are in the lead, and then in 9 of them, you concede goals to drop points and only get a draw from a winning position. And those 18 points, that's the difference between you and Liverpool.
It's the mentality, though, isn't it? You look at the way Man City have won the title over the years, you know, they're mentality beasts. And I think we saw the same thing happen last year when Arsenal, they lost to Southampton. They drew with West Ham, you know, at the London Stadium when Saka missed that penalty. And these things happen. I said beginning of the season, I expected Arsenal to be really challenging, if not winning it this year, based upon the last 2 seasons. You know, Mikel Arteta was at the Emirates at the end of the season last year. The fans felt really excited. And I think even if they go on to win the Champions League, and it's a big if, because it's still a long way to go, obviously semis, but like, it's a massive competition. But I think Arsenal will look back on this season and regret how the Premier League season has gone, because next year Man City will be back. You know, Liverpool will be pushing as well. And I expected Arsenal to do far better than they have done in the Premier League.
Yeah, further away this season than they have been in the last 2 seasons.
Injuries have hurt them massively. Really, injuries, I think, to lose Odegaard, Saka and Havertz for so long, I think has hurt
And
them.
Gabriel as well, to be fair, that's a great shout.
Yeah, but they are further away. The facts will show, and, you know, there's no room for comment in the results column. So what that means is that Liverpool only need a point now against Tottenham, Arsenal's North London rivals, actually, on the weekend to be confirmed Premier League champions. We're going to hear from both managers speaking ahead of Liverpool against Spurs, starting with Arne Slot from his press conference on potentially winning the title on Sunday.
We are aware of the fact that the last time this club won the league, it was COVID time. So everybody is looking forward to Sunday. But we know that there's still a job to be done, and that's at least 1 point. And that's what we know, and hopefully our fans know as well when they come to the stadium, that they support us in the best possible way they can, which they've done the whole season. And are aware of the fact that we still need a point. And that's something we are definitely aware of here inside this building.
Yeah, well, look, it's not about me. It's not about what I feel and me personally. It's about us as a club, and obviously, you know, like I said, we've fallen well short. But we can assess all that at the end of the year.
OK, disaster for Spurs, though. I mean, losing 5 of the last 7. They lost at Forest again. We talked in the intro about could they spoil the party. I don't even if they wanted to.
I don't think they're going to show up at the party anyway, so they can't spoil it. It's been a shambles, certainly domestically. In Europe, a little bit better, and they have a shot of winning the Europa League, which would be a miracle considering how bad they've been. I don't know. This game against Forest on Monday night just sums it all well. They can't defend for their lives. They can't hit the target for their lives. It's just terrible in between two. Ange has, I think, just not lost it, but gets everything wrong. The tactics, his communication, the link with the fans, the link with the players. He's not going to be there next season. He knows it already. But it's all about the Europa League for them anyway.
Is the dressing room are they still for him? Is that what you see?
I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for the dressing room from what I see. But what I see from the fans, I think it's become quite toxic. You know, when a manager can't even go over to the fans at the end of a game, we know what fans can be like. They know they pay their money to come. You can tell when people are not in the best frame of mind. He's going over there, you know, he's putting his hand to his ear. You know, in the game, we know he did that. Pretty obvious.
Yeah. So
it's difficult because I think Ange Postecoglou, when he first got in there, the fans were speaking so highly of him. They were playing this free-flowing football. earlier on in the season, people were talking about all these injuries Tottenham had. It was obviously Vicario, Van der Ven, number of injuries, but they still had Son, Kulusevski. You know, Archie Gray had a really good start to the season, but I don't think he's maximising the players individually. I don't think he's getting out of the players like the best out of them. That's what I think the best managers can do. I think Ange Postecoglou at times looks like, you know, the world's on his shoulders, and maybe it is. Managing Tottenham is completely different to managing Celtic. And that's no disrespect to Celtic, massive club, massive football club, but I think you can see the pressure is on, and I think one thing Pep Guardiola does amongst many things that's amazing, when City lose, he takes responsibility and he says, you know, it's on me, even when it's not. At times this season, I think Ange Postecoglou has spoken about players like Timo Werner. Do I think Timo Werner's a great player? No, but you can't be saying certain things about players in your press conferences. So, I don't know, I think at this moment in time, and even if they go on to win the Europa League, I agree with what Julian said. Like, I can't see Ange Postecoglou being there next year, nor do I think he probably wants to be there. Like, you know, you want to manage in a good scenario, and I think it just hasn't, it just hasn't worked out, has it?
Yeah, you used a great word, toxic, and that kind of feels like what it's become, the relationship between him and the fans. Just very quickly, they're already talking about who's going to replace him. Do you think it's done deal?
Yeah, I think they're looking for the right replacement. Postecoglou is a short-term manager anyway. You don't build with him. It's like Marcelo Bielsa. The football is too chaotic, too unbalanced, too all over the place. And at times it's fun. And it started well, but you can't build. So they're going to move on from him. It's a shame in a way, but they will get somebody more structured with a better philosophy, I think, suited to the Premier League, because Ange ball is not for the Premier League, it's for Scotland, Japan, Australia. Nothing against them, really. South Africa, if you want, even. Even probably in France, but not for the Premier League. It's too good of a league for them.
Yeah, as long as you said even in France, we're okay.